The most empowering idea I ever came across, and this is back in the 70s, you remember the old days, that influenced me really over the years was by Richard Bach in his book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Remember that? And there's a reason, that Richard Bach was smart and as intelligent and as metaphysical as was. His father was Marcus Bach, who was a unity minister. So the thing that influenced me the most from Richard Bach was he said, argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours. Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours. And I had, at that time, some very convincing arguments for why my life was limited. There was too many people in my field, and besides, nobody liked me. And besides, well, I could go on. I'm too poor and the world sucks, just ask me. But from reading this Jonathan Livingston Seagull and a new class that I was taking in the science of mind and spirit, I came to understand it was entirely appropriate for me to have all the good that I could imagine. All the good things in life: money, health, prosperity, abundance, fun, creativity. Now, in my former upbringing, they taught me that those things only happen after much toil and trouble, and you have to suffer a lot here on earth so that later on when you die and go to heaven, it's okay. Well, I didn't like that much. So it struck me how often and loudly I would argue for my limits, and I noticed that my life was exactly what I argued for. Now, I could prove it to you. I fought the law, and the law won. You see, there's this law. We can call it, I don't know, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, the law of correspondences, the law of as within, so without, the law you reap what you sow, all those things. It is done unto you as you believe, as Jesus taught. What you believe is possible, that is. This law is always, 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 always working. Always. As what we believe or what we have faith in. So, if your life is not as happy or healthy or joyful or abundant as you desire it to be, somewhere inside of you, there's a thought pattern. There's a paradigm, if you will, that's fighting this law of good. That's arguing for your limits. I'm going to tell you one of my favorite jokes, and you've probably heard this from me before, but I don't care. The joke is, this guy saw an ad in the paper, and the ad said, $100 cruise. You could see the world for a $100 cruise, and he thought, $100 cruise? I'm going to check this out. So he goes down to this kind of seedy part of town down by the waterfront, and he says, is this where the $100 cruise is? And the guy says, yeah, this is it. Did you bring $100 with you? He said, yeah. And immediately from behind him, someone whacked him in the head, knocked him out. And then when he woke up, he was in this little dingy rowboat that was out in the middle of the bay. And he's laying there, and there's another guy laying beside him. And then he doesn't want to appear stupid, so he rubs his head and he says, do they serve food on this cruise? And the other guy says, they didn't last year. That's a story about us, isn't it? Keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, but you can't get it. So I'm here to wake you up this morning to the fact that there is this law. Actually, everything I do is about that. But I just want to tell you the ways I fought the law and how it always won. So a good way to fight the law, if you want to fight it, is thinking this, that you want something, but you don't expect it. Wanting but not expecting. Years ago, I read, I believe, in a book called Working with the Law, he said, it is not good to want something and not expect it, or to expect something and not want it. So I wanted a lot of things that I never expected to happen. And when you want but you don't expect, you trigger this energy in you towards not having. You create a negative feeling inside of you which tells you the law, I don't have, I don't have, I don't have. And the law simply says, I know. I agree with you. So we have to learn how to expect. How? If I told you there was a chest 10 miles from here, and there's several chests, I'll put it that way, that's filled with $300,000 and $50 bills, and I've got a map for it, and I'll give you one, but the only thing is you have to walk there to get it. Here's what would happen. Some of you would just scoff and say, oh, that guy's nuts. There's no chest. And some of you would cite one reason or another why it's just too difficult. Or some of you would say, well, I can't walk that far. And some of you would just doubt there's any money there anyhow. But some of you would take off walking if I gave you that map. Some of you would take off walking, and no matter what seemed to hold you back, whatever obstacles you may encounter along the way, what other people say to you, you just start taking it one step at a time, walking towards what you want. So the people who started walking keep their eyes, they keep their mouth, the words they say, they keep what they hear. They keep their imagination on the chest. And it helps to start noting the nice things that they may see along the way. Helps them to feel good while they're going there, keeping it in mind, but noticing, oh yeah, this is a pretty nice walk. Huh. Everybody I meant except John. Yeah, he would go. But you see, every step that we take that way, every step that we see, every time we say, that's mine, every time we feel good about ourselves and about life, every time we say, see, feel, or think, that chest, we build within ourselves a belief. You see, that's what faith is. That's exactly what faith is, right? I said, well, I don't have enough faith. You got all the faith you need. You just have to direct it a certain way. Can I get a witness? Can somebody say amen and make me feel good? Look, faith is your ability to choose, no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter what seems to be happening, to choose, to think, say, feel and see what you want. You already have. I'm going to say that again. To think, see, say, and feel that what you want, you already have. And that's just something you do. It accumulates. If you do it enough time, you actually change your nervous system into a place where that becomes possible. You change your body, and then you change your experiences of life. Well, what you want, you already have. This is why I think Jesus taught, unto them who have, much will be given. And unto them who have not, even that little bit they have will be taken away from them. I didn't like that verse for a long time, because I was definitely a have-not. But to become a have, I had to build it. One thought, one seeing, one imagination, one prayer, one meditation, one joy, one companion, one group, one friend at a time. So resolve these morning, and every morning you get up, to keep your eyes on what you want. Keep your brain, your heart on what you want, because your heart is your feelings, right? So then you are building a have consciousness. I have it. And you keep doing it until you feel it. The law always honors what you're feeling in your heart. Always. You see, feeling is a signal to the universe that we already have what we want to create. So yes, you can get that feeling one step at a time. One step at a time. So the second thing I'll tell you about the way I fought the law, and the law won, is simply this. These are the big things I think that get in our way. My limited human mind simply can't comprehend the boundless ways that God, or the infinite mind, or the quantum field, or whatever you choose to call it, can develop what's absolutely the best for me. My mind can't comprehend. So having to know how it's all going to happen is fighting the very nature of the law, which works as a feeling of joy, as a feeling of love, as gratitude and compassion. Having to know how tells the universe you don't trust, you don't have. So listen to me. The law always, always, always wins. The law always wins. It never loses. It will always give us what we see, say, feel, and think. It will always give us that. We have to expect. We have to be open to every possibility. Like the lady who was in an assisted living place who was celebrating her 100th birthday. And they had reporters there and a cake and everything. And so a reporter asked her, he didn't know, he says, I'm writing this report. He says, do you have any children? And she said, not yet. So keep your saying, sealing, thinking, and feeling on what you want, and let God take care of the hows. I know some of you, I need to say this again, because some of you, it kind of goes right across your eyes and then disappears. You don't have to know how. You'll get information if you remain faithful to your desire. You'll get information. It'll say, go here, do this, and do that. But you don't have to know how. It's probably impossible for you to know how. Here's the thing. The law is on our side. The law is on your side when you are on your side. Do you get it? You have to stop arguing for your limits and start arguing for your joy, for your possibilities. You know that I am is the name of God, yes? In the Bible, it talks about Moses seeing the burning bush, and God says, I am that I am. Well, Rabbi Ted Falcon says, do not say the name of God without expecting something powerful to happen. You see, when you say I am, you are saying the name of God. I am. You know, a lot of us, trust me, when I fought the law, I kept saying, I am so poor, I am so downtrodden, I am so this and so that, and I am so fat and so thin and so tall and so small and so... Get over it. Start being something wonderful, because that's what you are. Amen? Amen. Turn to someone and say this to them. I am learning to allow good thoughts to flow from me. I am learning to allow myself to feel good. You know, when you say it, you got to... So here's what happens scientifically. A thought is a mental, emotional state in your heart and mind and brain that connects your brain to every nerve in your body, and every nerve in your body that goes from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes. So every cell in your body knows what you say, what you think, what you feel. And so many people over the years have put themselves down, put their body down, put their lives down. Well, no wonder they get sick. No wonder trouble happens. Because the law is the law. It can't give us anything unless we are willing to say it, see it, feel it, and think it. The law is constantly working. It's fair. It's also inevitable. It's given to us by God, I think, or the quantum field, or whatever the creator of all that is. It's given to us to allow us to come to this planet to have fun, to create joy, to create abundance and new creations of all kinds, and to help others do the same thing. I believe we're supposed to love, not hate. I know that. I know we're supposed to enjoy, not fret. I know we're supposed to dance and sing, not blame and bemoan. I believe the psalmist had this in mind when he wrote, "Great peace have those who love your law, and nothing causes them to stumble." The only thing that can cause us to stumble, dear heart, is arguing for our limitations. Listen, I fought the law in my life, and I stumbled plenty. It always wins. So I have learned something important. I've learned to love the law, to love the idea that there's a law that in its fairness gives to everyone alike. It doesn't care who you are, what you are, where you've been, or what you've done. It says right now, you can start a new track of living. You can start saying, seeing, feeling, and thinking something good is happening to you right now. See, I put it this way: the law loves you when you love it. Turn to someone. Say this. You know, the law loves you when you love it. That's true. Here's something I'm going to challenge you to say 50 times every day. 50 times. I know some of you are going, 50 times? I got news for you, dear heart. If you're downtrodden, or you feel bad about yourself, or you're sick, or something else that you don't like, you've said it much more than 50 times. Hundreds of thousands of times? Does anybody get it? Okay. You've said it that often. So I want you to say this 50 times. I love life. And life loves me. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Oh, now I'm having trouble believing you. Are you going to thrill me now with the fact that you do believe? You can tell I'm easily thrilled. I love life. Life loves me. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's right. See, you got to put your hand on your heart. I love life. And life loves me. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's right. That's absolutely right. See, we've all got one job in this life. One job. And that's to love life and love ourselves and love each other. Because as Ernest Holmes taught, the law is fulfilled through love. We've got this job to live our lives in love. And I'm going to tell you, to love in spite of politics. In spite of politicians that you disagree with. To love them. Oh, you say, oh, I can't love him. But listen to me. Every anger, every thought you feel about him or her just increases their energy, as well as your own strange energy. The law is always on my side when I am on my side. That's pretty good. I like that. Of course, I wrote it. We can say that. I am in love with life. And the law is always on my side when I am on my side. You are. So start telling yourself this truth every morning, every day, every afternoon, until it becomes such a part of you that you can't remember who that old guy was or that old woman was. You are now this new being, this new love. And I've come to believe and know, now that I'm an old white guy, I know, I'm trying to tell you stuff, but I know this. I do love life. And I do love you. And I do love this teaching. It can change the world if we let it. And so it is.
Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs.